Katie. How are you?
I'm good, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. My name is Vanessa, and I will be helping you out today. So before we do anything, we have to go over this informed consent. Okay, do you know anything about informed consent?
I know a little bit about it, not too much.
All right, so I'll just go over everything so you have a clear understanding. Okay, this is kind of going to go over like what our relationship will look like.
Sure.
So we're both students here at Del Tech, as you know. We are asked to participate in this class, which means we'll be doing role play. You'll be a client, I'll be patient, vice versa. We'll switch off. Okay, so in this scenario, you're the client, I'm the counselor. I will have to ask you like some background questions and things like that, just to formulate what we call a biopsychosocial, and that just kind of helps you with your treatment plan. Okay, so this is very important here. Confidentiality is big. We'll never ask you to share anything you don't want to share. If at any time you feel uncomfortable, whether it's real life, imaginary, anything, like you don't have to share anything you don't want to. Okay, obviously we are recording everything and it will be shared with the class as well as our instructor.
Okay.
So if there's anything that is recorded that you don't want to be presented, we can just cut that right out. If you want to switch gears because it's getting to be uncomfortable for you, let me know. We'll stop right then and there. Okay, and confidentiality, huge. So what you say to me will stay between me and you and the class at this point. But there are exceptions to this, okay, like legal exceptions. So if you report any issue of harm to yourself or others, I have to report that. Any indication of abuse, neglect involving children, the elderly, or disabled persons will have to be reported, okay? And because we are students at Del Tech, or any college for that matter, but in this case, Del Tech, any indication that you are currently a victim of sexual assault or domestic violence will have to be reported to our instructor, okay? And then what they do with that information is at their discretion. Okay, so the benefits that are involved, we get to do real life interviewing and counseling skills, complete practice. So just to clarify, I am in no position to give you any kind of advice, nothing from a professional clinical standpoint. Okay, so any suggestions that I share, opinions that I share are just completely out of my head, not professional whatsoever. And again, just ask you to be mindful of everything you share. Go over here to the back side. You have a copy here as well. So everything that we share, all the videos, anything written will be destroyed at the end of this course unless you express written consent otherwise. Okay? Not sure why you might want to do that, but you never know what the future may hold. So if you want anything kept, make sure it's signed off on. Everything is recorded, the class, and as I already said this part, like as the class and the teacher will both see everything. So if there's anything you don't want shared, again, just please let me know. And that's the gist of it here. If there's any questions or anything you want to, any kind of feedback or questions you might have, you can contact our instructor, Mrs. Pollock, and her number is listed here on the paper as well as her email.
Okay.
I look forward to working with you and learning new skills. Okay. So you just sign here. I would sign here, and then we'll date there at the bottom. I'm going to turn it here, and then we date it. Today's the 18th. Okay, Miss Katie, and what is it that brings you here today?
So I've been struggling with like my next steps after, graduating from Del Tech, and kind of like, I don't know, like where I'm gonna go, kind of my purpose and my goals.
Okay.
Like, I don't know, I've been really struggling. I don't really know what to do, to be honest.
Okay, can you tell me more about what you mean by struggling? Is it like a mental, emotional? Is there deadlines you have to meet? What do you mean exactly by struggling?
Well, I don't know. Most of it comes from the fact that I don't really know what I would like to do past this point. So I kind of just think about everything that I could do, and I just don't know what part of human services I kind of fit into, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, it's very broad.
yeah, it is. And also, like, there's the thing with my religion, and it means a lot to me, and I would like to, be able to have that be a part of my practice. And I know a lot of people aren't, the same religion as I am, so that would be very hard for me.
Okay, so it sounds like you have you want to be in the human services field. You know that.
Yeah.
You want your religion to be involved. You don't want that stipulation around whatever it is that you're going to do. And in a lot of cases, you're right. That is something that is sort of a stipulation. You have to be mindful of other religions, and if they don't share the same religion, if that's going to be a barrier for you, it makes sense that you would want to do something that incorporates that. Have you thought about maybe what you don't want to do?
Yeah, I have thought about what I don't want to do. I don't really want to do work with children. I don't want to work like at rehab facilities. I don't want to work with, I don't know, support groups like that. Those things are not really my thing. I don't know. I kind of want to create change on like a broader scale rather than kind of one-on-one. I'm not sure though.
Okay. Is there a specific area of interest that you have? Maybe, obviously not children or teenagers. I wouldn't even think so much as people. Is there a specific thing that you find really important when it comes to maybe health or someone taking care of themselves or something along those lines? Is there like a topic that interests you?
Yeah, I believe that self-love is like the foundation for everything in the human services field and any type of health, any type of wellness. Like, that's what I feel like you need to start with, and I would love to be a kind of an advocate for that, but where would I do that is the problem, you know?
Okay, so it sounds to me like you have a lot of ambition. You know that you want to go far in whatever it is that you do. You want to make change. You know what you don't want to do. And your religion is a big part of this, and you really enjoy self-care. You think that's very important. So what it sounds to me like is it would be beneficial to you to possibly find something that's within you're a Christian, correct?
Yeah.
That, you know, practices Christianity and maybe self-care, you know, maybe teaching people self-care. That's something you'll have to explore, you know, in your mind, you know, where you think you'd be comfortable. I think it's great though that you don't want to settle for something that you really don't want to do. So, side question, are your immediate goals, do you have those established? Are you struggling with that, or is it just your long-term goal that you're struggling with?
I guess it would be more my long-term goals. Like, I have an education plan kind of set up for myself, but, you know, there's fill-in time, there's, you know, career aspects that I need to think about. I'm not going to be in school forever, even though I do aspire to go to the PhD level. Like, I'm not going to be in school forever, so I need to figure that out, you know?
Okay. Well, on the upside, you do have some time. So that's a plus. You do have time to kind of think and figure this out. How is this affecting your life? You know, like, I'm not saying it wouldn't. On a daily basis, are these thoughts interfering with your ability to do what you need to do every day? Is it keeping you up at night?
Not so much interfering with what I need to do, but it does keep me up at night. I do wonder all day, every day, what I'm going to do. It's oppressing.
So it sounds like you're really overwhelmed.
It's a lot, you know.
Very overwhelmed by this decision. Have you shared with anyone else that you're concerned about this? Do you have feedback from family, friends?
Yeah, you know, I have, but they all, you know, are kind of sure that I know what I'm doing because, you know, they have that expectation of me, and it's hard to speak to them about that, you know.
That I can understand. If I were in your shoes, I could definitely understand how that would be overwhelming. And then this, you know, you don't want to let anybody down, and you don't want them to think that you don't know or have a direction or have them worry. I can definitely understand where you're coming from with that for sure. I think it's going to be okay. You have a lot of strengths. A lot of strengths. How do you feel about being able to narrow it down? Because you have narrowed down what you don't want to do. Is it that you may need to explore more and see what else is out there?
Probably, you know, a mix of that and like just learning more, I guess. Yeah.
It seems like the more you learn, the more there is to learn.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, who's to say that, you know, once you get to your PhD level, you don't decide to go for a PhD in something else?
I know.
And I feel like, I could be wrong, correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like that's not what you want to do. You don't want to be a lifetime student.
No.
You want your career, you want to know where that's at. You want to find your place.
You And my thing is I have bits and pieces of what I would like to kind of do, but I just don't have like a broad, like, okay, we're doing this, you know?
Yes, it makes a lot of sense. What I'm hearing is that you're very overwhelmed, not to the point that it's interfering with your ability to do the things that you need to get done in the day, but it is keeping you up at night. It is kind of
Persistent.
a reoccurring, persistent thought in your mind.
Yeah.
And you would feel much better if you knew the end goal.
Absolutely.
So you're taking all the steps to get to this goal, but you don't have a definitive answer as to what this goal is.
Mm-hmm.
So knowing what you don't want to do is definitely a positive, because we can just go ahead and rule those things out.
Mm-hmm.
Knowing that there are two aspects of this that you really enjoy, because human services is very broad.
Yeah.
So there are two aspects of this. Your religion plays a big role in your decision, and self-care and self-love is something that you really are passionate about.
Yeah.
And you want to advocate for those things.
Yeah.
So I think that's a great start. I mean, there's definitely a lot of potential and ability to get to the root of this.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to zone in more on maybe what opportunities are out there for, to incorporate what you really do love. And we're definitely going to be able to find something. You'll be able to figure this out.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.